Ryan here at Triathlon.com, and we are going to be talking about Ironman, Florida, where the best place to hide your spectators is. So I did the race in 2021. It's at a new location. It did it in 2020 as well. It's over by Pier Park in Panama City Beach. My understanding is this will be the kind of the permanent placement of it. Before it was kind of down shore a little bit in different, like their partner hotel in the parking lot and stuff. But my understanding is now that Pier Park is done and the surrounding shopping center is done, this is going to be for the foreseeable future. So I'm going to go over and kind of update you from my perspective as an athlete and from information I got back, when my family hung out and saw me on the course, kind of what the best spectator plan is for this course. So what I like to do is I go down to the courses and let me fix that so you can see the whole map. There you go. So what we got is the swim course. So you're going to be out at this pier that sticks out straight from Pier Park, this little whole shopping center area. You got all these markets, everything in there. So the important part is, this is Pier Park. Let me pull out a little bit. So Errant Bessa Park, that is where the check-in is, and the athlete and Ironman Village and all this stuff. So this is basically a big kind of shopping area. This is kind of a main street through the shopping area. There's lots of parking lots and everything in here. This pier, this right here, is where you swim. You start on the beach, you swim out, swim around. So this is what this pier is. So you swim out, do one loop, come back, and do two loops. So basically, the beach is open. There, like I said, there's tons of parking over here in this back little parking lot area. Transition takes up kind of a quarter of this parking lot, and then the rest there's parking everywhere, so there should be plenty of opportunities for parking. Just be careful. The T2 takes you down this little main street, this Park Drive, so if people are looking to get out, you're going to be trapped for a little bit because they close the roads down for us to cross the street as athletes and get back in here. Basically, we go around this little street, and then we come back in here into the parking lot area for the transition for T1, and then come out on the street in Ward Park, and then take Pier Park Drive out. So if your spectators parking here, they might be able to get out this way, but just be careful. But you can park there. There's plenty of parking in other locations, and then they can sit there and watch you on the beach. So really, they just hang out underneath the pier. They make a little kind of a roped off area, so when we come out, we run up the beach a little bit, and then we do kind of parallel to the water, and then we run back in, and then run out. And this little area right here, there's kind of a little walkway. So this beach access area is where they kind of run us through. They bring you down in the beach access, and then there's like a little walkway. Let's see if we can see it in the Google View look. So there you go. So here's the pier, and here's where you run out at this dog beach at Pier Park, Panama City Beach, at this little icon here. So they run us out as athletes back onto here, and then they run us through the street, and then they run us to South Pier Drive. And then we run down the street, and we hit a turn, and we come back in the parking lot, and this is where our transition is at. So spectators, you can watch your swimmers start off over here. There is a little beach tower that doesn't look, they might move it for the actual swim, but there's like a little a tower that they put over in the sand, and this is where we start, and this is where we run out and start back in. So you can watch your athlete enter the water, you can come over here and you watch them exit the water, you can watch them all the way in, running in here. So if you're somebody that's following your athlete the entire time, maybe you hang out over here, make sure you don't cross the line where the athletes are running around. So you can watch them come here, catch them here, and then run around and catch them on the back in transition when they're over here, and run around and find them. And then we ride out this little road to hit bike course. So for the swim start, there's plenty of access on this beach to sit anywhere you want. Bring a lawn chair, enjoy the scenery. You could be up here, run around, trying to find people to transition. Like I said, this parking lot, there's ample parking everywhere. So just be mindful. All this is built up now, so Google Maps is a little bit out of date on that. But you can park all in these parking lots. Just be sure when you do, you're going to have to leave out this back, like Sea Turtle Drive or whatever. Just because they're going to be using these roads for the bike course. So that's the main thing with the swim course, and then seeing your athletes in T1. So the bike course, for a full, going out, and the main thing is just to make sure that if you're going to go out there, avoid the roads that they're going to be getting people out here. So they bring people out, and then they hit us on, you can barely read that, 78. So Pier Park Drive. So it looks like on Highway 98. We don't hit that. Just trying to find this little. So they hit us out here to get us over to 79, I believe. And like I said, I'm from Kansas City. I'm not from the area, so I don't know the highways as well. But the main thing is check the maps. Make sure if you're parking over here, if you want to see your athletes on the course, make sure you have a way to get out of here, because this is the way we're going to be riding. We're all kind of northish of this little area here. So, there's not many opportunities to cross over here. So if you want to go over and see your athletes, you may have to take the long way around, because this is going to be the main roads in and out of this area. If you're trying to cross this road with bikers and stuff, you're going to be waiting on a while. So just keep that in mind. There's opportunities. You can drive all the way down south of here and come up and catch your bike riders and stuff, and go out to the U-turn. But once you're on the course, there's not much room. The backing outs, we got both sides of the roads. It's open to traffic, but the best place to see athletes is along the highway here. But when they're coming back down, you probably have some time. There's some areas here. There's some driveways and parking lots that you can park along the highway here. Ample room for to be driving. So, opportunities you can park here and see your athletes, but you're going to see them for a split second. Boom, they go by, and that's it. There's kind of the hot corner here where we turn right and go out to this U-turn and come back. Lots of suffering when you're heading north in the headwind, and it's really fun going south for the athletes. But so if you want to go out and you want to watch your athletes, I would just make sure that you try to plan a route where you're not crossing the roads. This little U-turn area, like I said, is a little bit, it's not as wide as shoulders, and it's could be a little bit more complicated getting in and out of if you're going to drive. This area over here is a little bit better, but unless you're going to go all the way around, which is very complicated, you're going to have to cross one of the roads somewhere. And it's not to say that you couldn't. Once most people are out of the transition, you'd be waiting for a little bit, but everybody's got from the last person in 2 hours and 2.5 hours to do the swim, and then at that point, you could park over here, and once the bikers are mostly out on the course, you could hit the road here and then go out and drive up to the highway here and see your athletes. But then it's going to be a little bit complicated when you try to come back in. You could stay north of there, but you might be doing a little bit of walking, like a Chipotle parking lot and a barbecue area that you might be able to park in, but it's going to be complicated. So just if you're going to go out and you're going to watch your athletes on the bike course anywhere, just be mindful that you're probably going to have to cross the course somewhere, and you could be waiting a little bit. And as the day goes on, those lines of cars get longer and longer to cross these streets. So last thing you want to do is get stuck in traffic and miss your athletes, because T1 and T2, the transition times are the best times to see your athletes, especially in T2. Athletes are moving a little bit slower, and we're definitely grateful to be off the bike and done moving for a minute, and then taking our time to getting ready for the run. So especially with transition being out in the open, they do have little changing tents, but for the most part, spectators can stand all the way around this transition area. So just find where your athlete is and you can watch them, and it's good stuff. They got this gated off, so you could stand on the edge here and find your athlete while they're in transition. So I think the key points is don't make sure you hit your athlete in transition and T1 and T2. And then when you go to the run course, there's plenty of opportunities to see your athletes. Basically, it's just out and backs. You start at the pier area at Pier Park, and you're all the way down. Let's see if we can find it on Google Maps. You do a little U-turn here. So basically, we'll go back to the course map. So basically, you go out. It covers a little bit of the older course when you come out past St. Thomas Drive. And then you come out, you do a little U-turn and come back in. So basically, along this route, you can drive down. The road is open, so you got to be mindful of that as athletes and as spectators. So this main road here, all the restaurants and all the touristy people driving around back and forth, and all the people trying to get to dinner and everything, this is open. So you just got to be careful. We athletes, we come down Front Beach Road, and then we hang this little left, and we stay on Beach Road, and we're running through neighborhoods. And so, if you wanted to see your athletes on the run course, all these houses, all the condos along the road, you're on Front Beach for a while, and then you pass another pier. And when you're out there as an athlete, it does seem like it takes forever. So Front Beach Road, and then take this little detour here. So the main thing is, I know you're watching me. So you come through, we hit Thomas Drive, and we do this little cut through. My family, we stayed at the Boardwalk Beach Resort and condos. So they were out there miles between 6 and 7, and they saw me. And then you hit kind of where the old run course is, and you come back, you do U-turn and come back. So the main thing is to keep in mind is that road is open. A lot of people rented golf carts, so that's a thing down there. There's tons of places to rent golf carts. If you're gonna drive around and you're gonna chase down your athlete all afternoon, I think golf carts are the way to go. They're maneuverable. You can drive on the roads. There's gonna be lots of traffic, but it goes pretty smooth. Cars usually aren't sitting except for stoplights and stuff because at this point they kind of know what's going on and they avoid the roads. So I think anywhere you want to see it, there's opportunity to see your athlete 4 times. Um, at the U-turn, it's kind of there's not much going on. I mean, if you wanted to run a house there, you could probably see everybody, as much as you wanted to. But I think the main thing is, like I said, seeing your athlete at the transition area, because this is also where they put all the special needs is right over here. So when athletes come and do their second loop, they can come through and they can catch their bag. You can catch them. So I would definitely consider it. Like Pier Park has got restaurants, it's got shopping, it's got a movie theater, it's got Dave and Buster's, it's got pretty much everything probably you would want, especially for a family with kiddos. If you want to do something like, you know, stay at one of the condos down here, make a day out of hanging out around here, and then get the Ironman athlete tracker, and then just find out where your athlete is and kind of hang out here and try to catch them. So you can catch them at the exit of T2, and then catch them when they come down here and run down and back for the U-turn. I would catch them up here, just catch them at the U-turn. There's a lot of space between spectators and athletes, so it might be kind of hard to see your athlete. They've got gates along the road here, but there's a lot of people here, so I would definitely kind of space out, a little bit further. Once it gets to a certain point by this like Calypso Towers or whatever, um, spectators can cross the road and do stuff, and people hang on the roads. They close off the roads at a certain point, so the road is just littered with people. It's littered with athletes. It's littered with litter. It's porta potties. Everything's going on out here. So this is kind of the happening spot near transition and the turnaround and special needs. I would suggest that would be a good location to set up shop. If you're going to be there, bring a lawn chair, bring a cooler, and just have a good time. Even if you don't have a lawn chair and cooler, there's plenty of other things to do. There's ice cream shops. Like I said, there's tons of places to eat. There's pizza, all kinds of stuff. There's places to get drinks. You can go watch a movie while they're on the bike course for 6 hours. Go watch a movie or whatever. Tons of stuff here to do. So that's I know I kind of gave you generalities as far as the spectators go, but for the most part, I think the swim is going to be awesome. You can watch your athlete the entire time if you really wanted to. You can go out on the pier. I think I had a lot of people out on the pier in the morning. But you can watch people from the beach. You can watch the whole race. Watch them out of the water. You can, if you time it right, you can run over and see them go out of T2 or T1, and then you can hang out and see them come in for T2, and then you can see them hit the run course and come over here. You can catch them when they come in to do their second loop, catch them when they hit the special needs area, kind of visit with them, and then see them at the finish line. The finish line is going to be back in here. So definitely plan that out as your athlete is approaching. You don't want to be down here because you're not going to make it down through the crowds of people to catch them because the finish line is like right here at this intersection. So you want to make sure that you set up shop. Unfortunately, I ran by my family. I heard them a little bit too late, and there's like lights in your face as an athlete. It's just hard to kind of see what's going on. And and you got your little sphere of everything going on around you outside of 2 feet. It's kind of hard to focus, and at that point, you just want to be done. So unfortunately, I ran by him and then heard him and realized it was them a little bit too late. I wish I'd have known that they were there. So I was looking everywhere for them. So definitely coordinate which side of the road your family was going to be on, so you could look for them if you want to see them before you cross the finish line. So that's mainly it. Like I said, I think going out, if you go back to the bike course, it'd be difficult. It's doable, but difficult. Just make sure you have some patience when you're crossing the course, because there's going to be a little bit of wait time to get past these, especially as you're crossing higher congestion points, the highways, major roads, and stuff. It's going to be a little bit complicated, a little bit difficult. It was also fun, this little blurb right here, going around I think a Publix grocery store in the back parking lot to catch a little bit to make sure we get 112 miles. Definitely kind of interesting. And then coming out here and doing this little loop on the end of this little highway thing was very interesting as an athlete. But anyway, that's all part of the fun, right? So overall, that's my recommendations. I think this race, it's growing on me, especially now that this beer park is open. It's got Target there. It's got everything there that you could possibly need for a little bit of entertainment, some kid stuff. There's a park. There's all kinds of stuff going on. There's the beach there, so if you're out doing your race and the kids want to hang out at the beach, there it is. And there's there's VRBOs, there's condos, there's everything over near here. So I definitely would recommend, especially if you don't have kids involved, then it's a little bit different. But if you got kids, you got parents, you got a group, I would definitely just plan on them hanging out around the transition area, because there's going to be plenty to catch of the race. Finish line, everything's located there. It's very central. It's got a lot of amenities there, restrooms, got everything you need over there. So, set up shop and hang out at the finish line while your athlete's out there doing their course, and go check out, Mike Riley calling people in and kind of fun stuff like that. Soak it up. Just make a fun day out of it. The weather was a little bit chilly for 21, but it warmed up enough. The sun was out all day. It really wasn't that bad. It was a little bit chilly in the morning, but as far as a November Ironman, it was a great race. So I definitely recommend this race, especially for families and groups. I think it's now that the Superior Park is open, it is a great. There's plenty of parking. There's plenty of stuff. It's a great opportunity. So that's my recommendations as far as Spectators go for Ironman Florida. Again, if you are watching this on Facebook, give it a like, give it a thumbs up. If you're watching YouTube, give it a like, give me a subscribe, hit the bell notifications for future recommendations for Ironman Florida or any other races I'm doing. If there's any questions you have, put them in the comments. I'll get back to you and let you know my thoughts as well. So with that, I'm going to wrap it up. Thanks for watching. Happy training out there, and we'll see you at the finish line.